guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the pay to win account and we do have the event up, which is the Celestial Celebrations. But today we're going to be looking at the Plentiful Delights, really breaking down what rewards you are getting out of this event. Ultimately, we don't know exactly how many of the Dragon Berries you are going to get because it seems like it's going to be RNG when you use your tokens. You could get 1, you could get 2, 3, 5, depending on the critical strike that you get within the event. Will give you more or less Dragon Berries. So again, it's going to be a little bit of RNG out of this event. So we're going to just take a quick look through here, and then I'm going to go ahead and hop over to In-Season's Guide, break down the actual cost per diamond relationship, which of course, mathematically, we can always break these down to see where the value is going to be. So ultimately looking here, we have Primordial Amplifying Emblems. You can get them on a daily from the shop with gold, so they are not going to be the biggest benefit. Red chest, usually always a good benefit, but might not be the best benefit. And again, we'll get a little bit more into that when we look at the guide and really looking at the value and breaking it down, because out of the Emblems Choice chest, looking at the top 6 are always a good choice, but it does also include the Emblems of Space, which are specifically utilized for our dimensional heroes. Now, because once you have Arthur, you can actually get these out of the Arcane Labyrinth, or you can actually pull these out of the Labyrinth store every single month. I would not choose Red Chest to buy Emblems of Space. I would go ahead and save up my Emblems of Space that I'm getting out of the Labyrinth store to continue to build them, because remember, they are the #1 priority out of the store, are picking up these Emblems of Space. So again, breaking down the Red Chest just a little bit there. Rare cards, we do get blue stones, especially out of the Misty Valley, a couple other places, again, on almost a daily or weekly basis. So the rare cards, even though they are tempting, it's really getting short-term progression with the blue cards versus making long-term progression. So in the short term, you might have a hero that might gain a little bit of levels because you get a little bit of food, but ultimately it is going to hinder your long-term progression, which is exactly what AFK Arena is about, the long-term progression. When it comes to the gear, these chests are very expensive. You can now have the faction change scrolls. You can get gears out of the guild shop in a lot of different ways, and you can choose which one. So this is another one where it is just going to be a matter of time before you get all the gear that you need. So this, not a very solid purchase, because again, you can get it out of the shop. Tier 1, Tier 2 stones. Of course, the Tier 1 stones, they're cheaper than the Tier 2 stones. The Tier 2 stones are cheaper than the Tier 3 stones. Now, the big thing to remember is with your Tier 3 stones is you can only get 2 of these out of the shop every single month. Meaning if you're looking to accumulate these in any quantity, you might have to pick some out of here. But again, we're gonna look at what the value kind of looks like when it comes to the tier stones. Looking here, we do have the Elemental Shards. Now this is for taking a hero from 0 to 30 when it comes to the engraving. Elemental Shards you can also buy with gold. So another item similar to the Primordial and the Amplifying Emblems, you can buy them with gold. So I would go ahead and pass on these. Now, Elemental Cores. Now, this is kind of the equivalent to Red Chest, but you need a lot more of these than you need with the Red Chest. So again, we'll break it down in a little bit when we look at the value of the event itself. Reset Scrolls you get on a regular basis every single week. Poke Coins, another thing similar to the Emblems and similar to a couple other aspects. You can buy them with gold. Now, looking here, the Twisted Essence. This is kind of an interesting point because a lot of the Twisted Essence is really focused on the PvP. If you're looking to stack up, building out some of your heroes quicker or building out the classes specifically quicker, Twisted Essence can be very beneficial because you don't get it in a big quantity. However, you do get it every 2 days, guys. You do pick up some Twisted Essence. If you're running the Twisted Realm or the Fabled Realm, depending where you're at, you do get Twisted Essence every other day, meaning it is going to accumulate. And we also do have a couple chances where they double the Twisted Essence that gets dropped, which can allow you to build out that Elder Tree a little bit faster. Again, we're going to take a look at the breakdown of what it looks like. Now, Dura's Artifact Fragments. This is a very unique chest. because we know two of Dura's artifacts are the most important in AFK Arena, which the first one being, of course, Dura's Call. This is the artifact that most players use on any of their support heroes, utilized on Rowan, utilized on the Twins, a bunch of different heroes. If you want them to ult faster, Dura's Call is the artifact that is the go-to. Second one is, of course, Dura's Eye. This one brings a big increase to crit rating and haste, which is strong. A lot of heroes, when you look at Grez, when you look at Isolde, when you look at Saurus, depending on the situation, a lot of heroes do utilize Dura's Eye, which is another very strong artifact to build. So looking at the build and the utilization of these, the rest of them don't really make a difference. But like I'm saying with the Call, if you're looking at the Thor and Cheese, it can be really helpful. If you're looking at the Twisted Realm, the Fabled Realm, the Call can be very helpful, which the same can be said for the Eye. Building these two artifacts out is, in my opinion, is a very good priority, just because they are super limited to what you get in here. So definitely picking those up in here could be beneficial. Looking at the heroes, this is another very interesting lineup of the heroes that they put in here. Right off the bat, we do kind of cross Zolrath off of here, just for the simple fact you can pick him up out of the Challenger, or not Zolrath, excuse me, Orthos, because you can pick him up out of the Challenger store. So do not spend the event items on here, because you can get him eventually out of that Challenger store. Now, when we look at the Twins and we look at Mortis, these are two of the biggest buffers when it comes to bosses. So when it comes to, again, the Twisted Realm, when it comes to the Fabled Realm, when it comes to the Abyssal Expedition, when it comes to guild bosses, these are the heroes that you want to build, and you want to build them out in a very specific order, which I know we've looked at a couple guides before to really how to build them. My first priority, if you're relatively new to AFK Arena, if you don't have heroes built, I would absolutely build out the Twins, guys. There is not another hero that does exactly what they do and the method that they do. Between the Unity ability and the Hope ability, they are absolutely phenomenal, and they are required for a significant amount of formations within the game. So picking up copies of them, even if it is an earlier game, picking up copies of them can be very beneficial. Followed by Mortis. Mortis is another hero. You really only need 2 copies to get him to Elite Plus to really have him perform well. Short of that, in battle, once he empowers the enemy, so once he uses his ability, if he dies within battle, not really a big loss there. He really doesn't do much damage, doesn't do much healing, but the empowerment ability is what you're looking for him to build. Now, if you do have both of those guys, Mahira works phenomenal with her Mesmerize ability. So the ability right here, we've seen the Mahira Rose combination, which has worked superbly late game, end game, even early game. It works very well. Combine that with a Khazard, which is plus 30 signature item, is going to increase that duration of the Mesmerize ability. It can make a game-changing difference to the formations that you have within the game, and also allow you to get over a lot of the more difficult stages overall. Now, the rest of the heroes, Wukong, we know we are getting a free copy of him very soon, so he is a pass because you can also pick him out of the Labyrinth store. Once you're getting Arthur and you're getting those Emblems of Space, he is naturally in the next purchase in line, followed by the red chest within that shop. When it comes to our regular faction heroes, guys, they are never a good choice to buy in here, just because you can put them in the wish list. You can get them out of the Misty Valley. You can put them in the desired hero selections. There's a lot of different ways to pick up a bunch of these heroes, so they are not really preferred to get out of here. They're super expensive and not really worth it. So now we're going to swap over, guys. We're going to take a look at In-Season's guide, really breaking down the cost for diamonds. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the guide. All right, guys, so here we are looking at the value single item and value per diamonds. This is kind of the way that they break it down. Again, mathematically looking at the development. Placing number 1, you can see the value relation to diamonds per Dragonberries. Twisted Essence does come in number 1. Now, this kind of comes at a little bit of a caveat, because again, the Twisted Realm or the Twisted Essence only affects one specific tree within the Elder Tree, meaning it is going to take you a significant amount of time to get enough of the Twisted Essence to really make a difference. Now, in turn, looking at our number 2 slot, which is our red chest, the red chest on a hero can really make a hero either is going to 1, perform, or 2, not perform absolutely at all. There are heroes in AFK Arena that require a plus 30 signature item to be effective, to really unlock their power utilizing their skills. Even some heroes below a plus 30 signature item, they drop off, and they really drop off very hard. Now looking next, we have the Poke Coins. Again, I would not choose the Poke Coins just because of the rarity from them. A lot of players do refresh the shop. You can buy Poke Coins in multiple places. We get a ton of Poke Coins within the Misty Valley, which I absolutely love. So I know the cost aspect of them, but like I said, I put the realization of the ability to get the item and the ability to consistently get the item. Also in combination, you can get Red Chest, you can get Twisted Essence, you can get the Poke Coins. You can adjust your choices in here depending what you're getting from the Noble Society. So a lot of people don't realize that if I'm getting, for instance, out of the Noble Society, I'm picking up Twisted Essence out of there, I can be catered a lot more towards the red chest when it comes to the event, because I know I'm already having the Twisted Essence coming in on a regular basis because I'm pulling them out of the Noble Society. Same thing with the other way around, that if I'm getting red chest out of that Noble Society on a regular basis for our 45 days, I could pick up some Twisted Essence out of there just because I know I will be getting both of them through the duration of the event and also past the event already ending. Now the tier 3 stones came in at 4th for the cost. And again, the tier 3 stones are relatively rare when it comes to the combination of building them. Now looking further down the line, we got the primordial emblems, the amplifying emblems, the shards down here. I know you can't see this little column right here. I'm just looking at the camera, but this is our elemental cores, which came in the very bottom at 23. The big thing with the elemental cores is for how many you get, the diamond cost, and this was, the hashtag in graveyard, things of that nature. The amount of elemental cores that you need to utilize to get a hero built in relationship to the diamonds you have to spend to get them built is still horrible, guys. It's very expensive to build heroes out. It does take a ton of elemental cores, which is why, again, so many players were upset about the building of heroes, is because it is super expensive, which we're not seeing any relief here with the cost of the elemental cores. If they put the elemental cores a little bit higher, if you got more cores per cost, or redemption would change this dramatically, but unfortunately they still do have a very heavy price. Now the next one down here, priority for the call in the eye to 5 stars. That is what we talked about with Dura's eye fragments. I would prioritize building the call in the eye up to 5 stars. Really, from the beginning of the event, it's very strong to build. You will find a lot of viability. Again, a lot of heroes do utilize those different artifacts, and they work phenomenal. So the next part, it looks like Mahira up to Mythic, Mortis to Mythic, or the Twins, guys. So pulling some of those heroes out of there. The big thing is with those heroes is it's kind of a risk return, because if you're pulling a copy of Mahira, Mortis, or the Twins, you're essentially saving either 1, a ton of Stargazer cards, or 2, you are saving a ton of diamonds to do the Stargazer themselves. So when you're building out the heroes, it's really beneficial to pick them up because they are super rare. Chances of you pulling them from stones or from summons are very low, especially if you want to build them to any higher levels. So the general priority rate here, he breaks it down: red emblems, Poke Coins, Twisted Essence, cores, then shards. Cores generally pass red emblems and Poke Coins. After best, plus 30s, 9 of 9, and 3 of 9 and 9 of 9 are acquired. And cores generally pass Twisted Essence after level 20 is acquired with all classes. So the cores, again, generally pass the Twisted Essence. So it would change it up a little bit. Now, The other thing you do have to remember when it comes to AFK Arena, guys, is as you're making progression within the game, this is really the point of the game that you cannot associate the cost with. Is if you look at my pay to win account, I have a significant amount of heroes that have red emblems. I have a significant amount of heroes that have 3 of 9, 9 of 9, max out furniture. We will continue to get red emblems. We will continue to get po coins. So ultimately, looking for Twisted Essence and looking for cores on my personal account is a lot. I feel like it is more beneficial just for the simple fact of where your account has progressed. So when you look at even, the 5-man teams, having 5-man teams, I can build out 5-man teams relatively easy because I do have a significant amount of heroes built. So my priorities do change, and your priorities will change in AFK Arena as well. If you're a little bit earlier in the game, red emblems, 100% absolutely the priority versus Twisted Essence. You're not really racing to build out the Elder Tree at that point. Red emblems and po coins will be very beneficial. Since we don't see a breathtaking difference with cores and shards when it comes to the engraving, red emblems, po coins, definitely going to be the best choice until you start getting those key heroes built out. So guys, I want to give a big shout out to In Season for the guide. Absolutely love doing these, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. I hope we did an adequate job breaking down the event and kind of breaking down the priorities that you should be looking for. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. And as always, thank you guys for watching.